I proudly present to you what I got from NHLShop.com for a relatively good price. Yours truly, LA Kings. And who was captain of the LA Kings in the late 80s and 90s? Well, none other than yours truly. I'm going to turn it over. The great one himself, folks. That's right. Got this for a good price, and this is the LA Kings away jersey. Well, back then away was colored and home was white, but that has changed considerably since then. But just wanted to show you. This is the back of it. Yours truly, the great one himself, Wayne Gretzky. Considered by many the greatest player to ever play the game. So let me show you. You got the classic LA Kings logo. I think out of all the logos and designs, this was one of my favorites. I remember having this jersey when I was a young child, and it was definitely one of my favorite jerseys to wear. I wore it many times for hockey practice when I was playing floor hockey, or just fashion reasons. It was, unfortunately, I wore this jersey right out. It began to tear and fade, so I had to, eventually get rid of it. So it's definitely nice to have this back in my collection again. And I gotta say that they've done a really nice job in modernizing these vintage jerseys. They definitely look a lot better than they usually did. So, they still have the old design, but in more of a modern times like this. And I really want to appreciate them for doing so. And as many of you know, back in 1988, Gretzky was traded to the LA Kings and had an immediate impact. Well, it definitely brought a lot of attention, a lot of interest to the game itself. I mean, hockey was just another sport up until he arrived. It definitely, got people watching and interested. Gretzky made an immediate impact after he was traded. Yes, they did not win the Stanley Cup. They did make the Stanley Cup Finals '93, but lost to the Montreal Canadiens in a finals that probably could have gone either way. But defensively, Montreal was a stronger team, so whereas LA was mainly offensive. But overall, it was great for hockey because it also brought in the San Jose Sharks and the Anaheim Ducks. So I think a lot of that was because of the Gretzky trade and Gretzky's impact on the game and in the California area. And you have to consider the fact that, a lot of people didn't think hockey would work in California, and it proved to be a great success. So now, after this, in 1996, Gretzky was traded to the St. Louis Blues, and him and Brett Hull had a pretty good tandem, but unfortunately, they were eliminated in 1996 in the second round by the Detroit Red Wings, and Gretzky eventually signed on to the New York Rangers, which I admit I was very disappointed in that because personally I hated the Rangers, but ultimately it clearly, and they did make the conference finals. I think it was during that, his first year there, but ultimately they did not win, didn't get to the finals. They were eliminated by the Philadelphia Flyers. So, and obviously, Gretzky retired in 1999. Go figure the irony behind that. But he was definitely one of my favorite players, and I think out of all the jerseys he wore, this was probably my favorite one. I think it was probably the nicest one he wore in his career. That's just my opinion, though. I don't need to go over what he did in the 80s. I don't need to go over it. I'm not going to say, I don't need to go over. I wouldn't say that, okay, comparing Lemieux and Gretzky, I think skill-wise, I think Lemieux was a lot better, but I do think that when it came to intelligence, playmaking, when it came to, setting up perimeter, utilizing his team, playmaking ability, just I'll have to give the edge to Gretzky. There's no doubt about it. I mean, nobody set up perimeter like he could. Nobody could pass as better as he could. I just think that he truly was one of a kind. I think he was really one of those rare, I think his intelligence is something that really gets overlooked as far as, playing the game goes. But let me know your thoughts. Who do you think was the best of all time? I personally think that it's really a toss-up between him and Lemieux, but that's just my take on it. It's really hard to tell. So, but let me know your thoughts. Think it was worth the wholesale price? And I personally thought so. I'm definitely going to wear this more often. I'll probably pick up a few more jerseys down the road, but it's definitely nice to have this in my collection again as an adult. I love it as much as I did when I was a child. Take care. Good day. Peace, everyone.